Hello there, everybody. How's it going? With October around the corner, I thought, why not film a couple of horror films? I'm not the biggest horror fan, but there's some movies that I used to watch that were horror, so, I thought I'd give them a shot. This has been quite difficult to do, though, unfortunately, so the actual review, I'll leave a timestamp for it right here when I actually do that, but leading up to that, I'm going to talk about how I found this film and some of the weird stuff around it, because just trying to freaking find this thing has been a goddamn journey. Alright, so, back in 2011-ish, junior year of high school, I got Netflix, and the main genre that I watched for a little while was the horror films on there. Netflix had a bunch of horror films to stream and was available on DVD, so I was knocking out quite a few of those, which is partly why I'm not the biggest fan of horror films now, because I saw so many of them. But Breathing Room was one of them, and it's available on DVD. So for the purpose of a review, I thought it'd still be on Netflix or be available on Amazon or something kind of simple that I can get, or get some location at a store. I mean, I wasn't sure if it'd really be at a store, but still. So I go to Amazon and it looks like it's not available anymore. It says our agreement with the content provider does not allow purchases of this title at this time. I've never seen that before on Amazon. I don't understand exactly why that would be. Maybe it's some regional thing, because I'll get to that in a second, but alright, so then I'm like, okay, it's not on Amazon, so I'll just Google and see where else I can find it, possibly. And, the only place that it was available, that seems to be available, is on iTunes. Nowhere else. I looked for quite a while on here. The only way you can get it is on iTunes, apparently, and I don't have an Apple, I don't have an iTunes account of any kind, so I don't even want to try to bother to set anything up to just try to go see it. I say if you have an iTunes account or something, maybe go check it out. With a little more digging, though, I did actually find a copy that seemed to be on Amazon. There's a title came up for it, but it's in some other language, and it's like $20. It says that it's Blu-ray, but this came out in 2008, and I don't remember exactly when Blu-ray started to come around, but this movie is also very poorly reviewed. I doubt that it had a movie theater release, and that kind of makes me question, would they make this into a Blu-ray? Like, I actually don't know this. Do they make poor movies into Blu-ray? I'm not talking about, like, bad movies now, but I'm talking about, like, before Blu-ray came out, and there's the movies that came out before Blu-ray. Did they put crappy movies to Blu-ray? I don't actually know that. I haven't looked up any titles to really find that out. I don't look for Blu-rays. But you see, I'm trying to just find a copy of Breathing Room to watch, to give a review, and it's got me doing all these other questions here. And then, also, I thought, maybe let's go see the Rotten Tomatoes reviews on it, see what's up with that, and see how people liked it. People liked it or didn't like it. There's, basically no reviews. There's only 2 reviews, but there's no critic score at all. No critics reviewed this at all. Only 2 people reviewed it for the audience, so it's got a 17%. It is not looking too good. But I wanted to see if I could somehow find them, and I did. Found the 2 guys, and this one guy, Julio, man, he left a freaking novel here for them. He did not like this movie, and I am so glad for that, because this is hilarious. I'm actually just going to read a little bit from his review right here, just yourself. He gave it a 1 star, and it's kind of funny, because he reviewed this in 2012, and the other guy reviewed this in 2008 with 4 stars. He had 3.5 stars. This guy had 1, so he probably saw, he's like, I'm going to go on Rotten Tomatoes and give my review, see what it is. 1 review, and it was probably at 70% because of the 3.5 stars. He's like, oh, hell no. Time to do some damage. And he says, this has got to be the worst premise for a movie I've ever seen. I've heard of mad scientists before, but mad social scientists? Basically, it's a big behavior study. This team, who I can only assume are the most stupid and immoral sociologists ever conceived in a realm of fiction, taken to kidnapping a large groups of people just so they can study their behavior. I guess kidnapping people and hiring lackeys willing to kill them and run an elaborate death room is cheaper and more efficient than just getting your own run-of-the-mill consent form for a less insane social experiment. I'm not going to read his whole review, don't worry, I just read a little bit of it, but okay, I like his take on it, but I don't think it's as bad as he's saying. So then, okay, I'm just trying to find out some information about the movie now, because it's been a while since I saw it, and I can't watch it right now, and I still kind of want to review it, but, I don't remember enough to do a full review, so most of this video is just talking about how weird this is. So then I'm just checking it out. I found there's some reviews on IMDb, and Again, they're not too friendly on them, but I like them because they're short and sweet. It's 4.5 or 4 stars out of 10. Boring, unoriginal, pointless, and disappointing. Right to the point. Very descriptive. I actually kind of like that. For a written review, that's fine. 4.5 stars. It felt like a lot of things were missing. And then some suspense, although the game is rather stupid. 5 out of 10. 2 out of 10. Holds no surprises. It's kind of right there. I mean, it's if you're not as familiar with this type of setup, then, you might be surprised, but we'll see. But then we got an optimistic one that gives it a 7 out of 10 and says it's far better than the ripoff some claim this to be. Which, yeah, I kind of agree with that one. I also did a YouTube check to see if there's any reviews on YouTube, and there's about 3 is what I could count. And surprisingly, the trailer is still up there, so if you guys actually want to check out the movie still, or, just get a glimpse of what I'm talking about, check out the link in the description below for the trailer. I'll probably show some of the clips while I play here, but I don't want to get a copyright claim, so I don't know if I will. Alrighty, welcome back everybody. If you came to this point, you're just now joining us for the actual review part. So, it was released in 2008. It's about an hour and a half long. It was directed by John Suits, and it stars Alyssa Marshall, spelt kind of weird. I don't know if that's an error on their part. It has an A-I-L-S-A. Don't know why it'd be spelled like that, but it stars her, and she's actually not that bad looking, to be honest. She's not that bad. She's pretty good. I could see her being a role in some other films, which she actually did look familiar because she actually plays in Act of Valor. Let me see here. I looked up. I was kind of curious now after seeing her in this. I'm like, maybe she has some other acting credits. She's been in Act of Valor as one of the guy's wife. She's been in some TV shows as, basically the third girl number 3. The main character's friend's neighbor or something. She's been in The Entourage, Gilmore Girls, True Blood, Dirt, How I Met Your Mother. She's been in a couple things, so that's alright. She's got something. The Crappy Holiday Presents. I'll look more into that later, guys. That's weird. If I remember correctly, the plot of the movie is there's like 14 people locked in a room, and it's basically Saw style. I think they're rapists and thieves and murderers and some bad people, so they're all thrown in there. I think they're thrown naked, as it says here. They're thrown naked in the room, and then they find clothes. They gotta find some things. They have a collar already attached to them, so that's how they stay in the room, basically. And I think there's a few side rooms that they can go into and explore, but they have to follow rules that are set. I remember there's one part where this dude went to the bathroom in there, and then there's a rule that says, please wash your hands. And he's like, I ain't gonna do that. You done get killed. Or it's like, don't move beyond this point. He's like, we gotta do something, guys. And then, they show that kind of thing in the trailer. So, I'm not really spoiling anything for you. They show 5 or 6 people that get killed in the trailer, which I did not see the trailer before today. So that's kind of a funny trailer, to be honest. But yeah, there's no ID. But yeah, there's no ID on any of them, no name tags, so they'll have to kind of figure out who each other are and actually learn things. People are trying to keep secrets from them, of course. It's kind of like, they've done, this idea has been done to death, like with the Saw movies, with the Predators even, people that are just dropped down and you don't know who they are. All a big experiment, kind of a social experiment, and it's all about kind of guessing who it is, and, if you watch any of these types of movies, I think you'll be able to figure out who this is, but if you don't, then you might be a little surprised on who the killer turns out to be. The movie feels like it was filmed by a very skilled amateur film director, like someone who's just out of college trying to do it, and they got a few people. They found some people, paid them $100 to each play in it. It was after Halloween, maybe. He got some convict costumes and some props and some fake blood for $10 or something, and had a room, so he was able to have a location for it, and got a camera from somebody maybe let him borrow it. Kind of feels like that. Movie isn't god-awfully horrible, but it is just rather stupid. But it's interesting to watch as a horror film, because it's just like, what are they doing? They think it's like this super intense thing and suspenseful, and it's just kind of like, what? It's not believable at all. Like, you wouldn't believe that this would happen. As to where like something like Saw, they kind of make you think that it could happen, at least with the first couple of the films. I really want to know what somebody like Real to Real Productions or Wished Upon a Vlog thinks about this, because I know you guys are really into horror, and to get your take on this, if you can somehow watch it, because, as I talked about before, the review point is that this is very difficult to find. It's not on Amazon. It seems to only be available on iTunes. It used to be available on Netflix, but now it's not, and I don't know, this is just one of those weird films that, I don't know, I kind of liked it-ish at the time because I was just into the cheap horror films when I first got Netflix, and now I'm not the biggest fan, to be honest, but I think this one would be worth a watch, but not... Don't strain yourself trying to watch it. At least watch the trailer down below and go, what the hell is this movie? I don't even know if I should call this a movie review, because it feels like a trying to review a movie video, you know. If I could actually see it now, then I could give a little more detail on what happens with it. It's just, you know, some people are trying to figure it out, and some people get killed. Every 30 minutes, the killer's going to strike. The lights all go dark, somebody gets killed, and, you know, you wake up, whoever's closest to the body, they kind of will suspect, you know, they can have weapons and whatnot, and it's about trust and figuring things out, secrets, it's alright. Again, it's interesting, but I don't feel like there's much more I can add of substance to it, so I'm just going to try to end the video around here. Watch it if you want. I am in no way saying that this is a good movie. I'm just saying it's an interesting one to possibly check out. Don't strain yourself trying to find it. That's it for this attempt at a review. The next horror video will be an actual review, I promise. Hey guys, I'm working on some film projects behind the scenes. If you want to help fund these projects or my channel in general, check out the Patreon and Teespring store. Links are in the description below. Do you want to send me a message or just see what I'm up to? Follow me on Twitter @TheRookieCritic. I'm on a mission to finally watch some classic and popular films. Hit me up on Twitter if you want to join a watch party. And I also got a mailbox, so if you want to send me movies or comics to review, send it to 3021 Northeast 72nd Drive, Suite 9, PNB 1560, Vancouver, Washington 98661. Thanks, guys, and cut. That's a wrap.